So, wasn't this weekend just fucked up? Not a whole lot of good happened this weekend for a lot of people. I had a pretty boring weekend myself, but then again, I also stayed indoors. Not so much fortunate are the other people that did not stay indoors and had to go to the store today. Or, I guess, Saturday. And I'm just going to lay it out. Fuck it. I have some issues with some of the rhetoric that has come out. Beto O'Rourke, for example, I'm going to start with him, since he's a presidential nominee, decided to blame Trump for all of this shit. Well, guess what, dumbass? He is a symptom, not the cause. Nobody likes his fucking mouth other than he keeps it real. I mean, he tells it as it is. If you think there's not a problem with illegal immigration, allow me to lay at your feet the incident that happened to me in Utah, mind you, so several hundred miles away from the border. Somebody broke into my sister's house. It was my parents' house at the time, because I was like 19. And my sister, 17, just barely turning 8. She wasn't even graduated yet. Somebody broke into our house because I happened to leave for the day. My parents happened to go to Windover that weekend. And tried to rape her in our house after breaking in. Yeah, we found out who this guy was. He showed up to the nightclub that me and my sister went to. It was an 18 plus or 16 plus at the time nightclub. And no drinking, no alcohol served there. It was just for kids, basically. Something for us to do on the weekend rather than us doing stupid things on the weekend. Needless to say, there was a lot of issues, just like in any other nightclub there. But what do you expect? Drama, right? And yeah, that guy showed up there after he tried to rape my sister. He was strictly detained and deported because he was a legal alien from Mexico in our country that tried to rape my sister. So if you think I have a little bit of disdain for illegal immigration, you're understating the situation here. And furthermore, this white supremacy narrative, Jesus Christ, you fucking people. You're looking at symptoms and not the cause. You think there's a reason that there's a rise in white supremacy? For the last 10 plus years, I'm going to go back that far at least, yes, because it didn't start hitting mainstream into schools and academia until about then, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, maybe a little bit further, because some of this stuff actually dates back to the 70s in my own historical investigation, if you will. This anti-white, anti-male rhetoric started with feminism and intersectionality. The Frankfurt School started it all, turning Marxist ideology, the philosophy from Marxism specifically, and warped it into racial and sexual lines. So if you think there might be a problem in the country, maybe you need to dig deeper. Look at the root cause. But no, you don't want to do that. Do you, Beto O'Rourke? Do you, the rest of the fucking Democratic National Convention? Because it points back directly to your ideology that you fucking believe in. I can see why people would go fucking unhinged. The problem is, and here, I'm going to say something else with this. The problem is that people don't dig deep enough. They say, oh, we're going to stop the hate. Oh, we're going to stop this rhetoric and, love wins out. All this other shit. And let me tell you something, you stupid ass motherfuckers. All you're doing with that rhetoric is sowing more hate. Yeah, amazing, isn't that? You're going to fight hate with what? Fighting something requires a negative reaction to something. You're going to fight hate with hate. That's pretty much what you're going to do. You're going to condemn, and you're going to berate, and you're going to belittle people because you hate their hate. How fucking retarded are you? I mean, seriously. How stupid do you have to be to believe something like that? You don't dig deep enough. You don't try to understand. There's a reason. For example, back in college when I was studying for my doctorates, I found a fascination with a few people that came out of fucking Nazi Germany. Hitler particularly was a conniving son of a bitch. He was able to manipulate millions of people into doing atrocities. How the fuck do you do something like that? No one cares. Oh, he's evil. Okay. Yeah. And how did he pull it off? How did he accomplish that in such a little amount of time? How did he manage to turn an entire nation into a war machine that exterminated millions of people in their own land? How did he do that? There is some philosophy behind it. Bet you'd never guess that. Marxist philosophy, no less. He also had a complete disdain for the Jewish people because he felt slighted by them too. But there's more than that. He was clever. And he knew how to manipulate people. He knew how to appease the crowd. He had some other architects that were with him. What made them do what they did? Have you actually tried to understand? I seriously doubt it. Getting back to present day, you're going to blame white supremacy? Okay. Stop whiteness. Go ahead. Stop it. I dare you. Stop whiteness. That's a racist term, in my view. You're racist. Whiteness? Really? You're going to say whiteness is a culture? You're racist. Period. You're a fucking piece of shit at this point. And yes, everybody keeps saying, oh, well, racism is just a dead term and everybody hates it. No, it still has as much punch as ever because there's a certain group of people that throw that term around as an insult because they too are afraid of being called racist. The only reason they call their people racist is a sucker punch. They're trying to get to the attack first. So they call Trump a racist. I don't think he's a racist. Not at all. He says some stupid shit. Don't get me wrong. That's why I don't like him. That's why I don't support him. That's why I won't vote for him. But I can tell you right now, he has less racism in him than the entire Democratic Party. Because all we hear from them is race-based policy. All of it. I haven't heard a single thing that's actually of substance, except for Tulsi Gabbard, which is why I'll probably vote for her if she wins the fucking convention, the primary. I'm not going to vote based on anything else but principle. And knowing Samoans as well as I do, because I grew up with a shit ton of them, in Utah, no less, which is also weird. But I can tell you, they're just like her. Seriously. Don't cross them, because they will fuck you up. But they'll be the first to invite you to dinner. Because they're just that chill. They're just that good. They're very, very, very friendly. And it comes because they're islanders. They live in close quarters to each other. They decided what's better, war or hate, or neighborhood and community. They went neighborhood and community. It worked out quite well, I have to say. Because it made a very good cultural people. Always friendly. Then they moved to denser populations. Shit happened. So, no one has bothered, and this I think is the point of my video here. No one has bothered to try and determine what the root cause is. All they've done is surface level pointing fingers. Was he a Democrat? Oh yeah, he was. Oh, then Democrats are evil. No. That's tribal, you stupid son of a bitch. It's a symptom, not a cause. That's my problem with this. The Dayton, Ohio, the El Paso, Texas, the Pulse nightclub, all of that are symptoms, not causes. You're going to blame an inanimate object for the actions of an individual? You're going to ban guns? Yeah, sure, ban rocks while you're fucking at it, because people throw rocks at people and kill people. Big boulders have killed people. Why don't you ban knives while you're at it? That's what, the UK is doing. People stab each other. Are you seeing a theme yet? You can't stop people from killing people. How are you going to do that? Combat hate. Oh yeah, sure. How are you going to combat hate? You gonna hug the guy that just stabbed you 17 times? How's that going to work? Why don't you go to death row? Give them a hug. See what happens. Especially the more psychotic ones. that think you're a demon, yeah, give them a hug. See if they don't choke you out and try to murder you on the spot. Let's see how that works out. That's my problem with all of this. They don't want to look at themselves. Nobody wants to cross that line and look through the brain of a dark individual. This is why I brought up the Godwin's Law and spit all over it just now. You need to look deeper. Understand why somebody would bring a gun to a school and shoot people. Understand why somebody would go to a Walmart and open fire. Try to understand why somebody would go to a nightclub and just open fire. What drove them there? You're gonna just say hate? You're a weak, useless individual. Hate. Please. As if you wouldn't hate something so badly you want to end them. Don't lie. Everybody's thought of that. Everyone. Everyone's gotten so angry that they could have flown off the cuff and did something horrible. It was only our sensibilities that stopped us from doing so. And no one seems to think that they're not capable of the same fucking thing. This disturbs me greatly. As every other mass shooting has disturbed me greatly. But unlike you lazy motherfuckers, I want to know why. I want to know what drove them. I want to know what their motivations were. I wanted to know why they thought it was a good idea to go out and start shooting people. They may point the finger at a few things, but I start digging deeper. What type of culture would drive somebody to shoot 11, 20, 50 people? What type of culture, what type of upbringing, what type of teachings and indoctrinations? God, this even had me stuttering. I'm so fucking furious. What type of things made somebody think that they could do this and didn't care about the repercussions of their actions? So too, why did a guy throw a fucking pipe or a Molotov cocktail and bring a weapon that was unregistered because he built it himself to an ICE detention agency and try to set the place ablaze, which would also have killed the people he's trying to protect? He was shot in the spot because he was attacking the cops. You don't seem to think that there's an issue here. And then, one last thought. You're getting all pissed off about the guys that are strapping a gun to their back and doing open carry now in the state of Texas and going, oh my God, I'm not going to leave the house ever again. You're fucking stupid. Those people that brandish their guns on their backs are not the ones shooting up places. You're afraid of the weapon because you've been told the weapon is dangerous. Yeah, who stopped the rest of them? It was other guys, trained individuals, trained people with a gun. That's what stopped them. You can't blame inanimate objects for the actions of our own human species. These are symptoms, not causes. And including Trump. Trump is a symptom, not the cause. Trump exists for one reason, and one reason only, at least in the presidency. You had a crony Democrat willing to go to war with Russia, doing no-fly zones over Syria, for example. As if you could impose those without killing people, by the way. No-fly zones over Syria because Assad's full of hate. There's her word again, hate. When it didn't work out that she was going to lose the presidency, she calls everybody she didn't like a basket of deplorables. What's a deplorable? Somebody that should be hated, in my view. I mean, it's not an abomination, as in the Bible with gays, and Quran with gays. No. Deplorable. They're sick individuals. Cretins. She meant white people. Amazing, isn't it? You want to stop this kind of shit? You really want to stop it? I have a starting solution that might help us curb our culture and start changing it in the right direction. Stop the racial politics. Period. You want to divide this country up and say you're African American, Latin American, Latinx, whatever the fuck that is. There's no X in Spanish as far as I know. It's Latinos or Latino. Not Latinx. You're a fucking poser. All you're doing is making racial policy, believing in race. Devalue race right off the bat. We already had that mindset from the get-go, and then something came along and destroyed that mindset. Racial politics. Intersectionality. The secular religion. When they didn't have anything else to call the original sin, they said white people were the original sin. That's pretty much what it is. Toxic masculinity and whiteness. Stop demonizing males, because males carry out the mass shootings. So if you stop demonizing them, it might change their attitudes a little bit. Just saying. And stop demonizing white people. And try, one last little caveat on this. White culture doesn't exist. I did a video on this already, outlining why culture is tied to geology or geography, however you want to put it. Geology. It's not tied to rocks, my bad. No, it's geography, location. I don't know why I said geology. Amazing. That's amazing. No, it's not tied to race at all. It's tied to geographic region. God damn. You people make me stutter. It's pretty obvious why this happened, at least to me. Because I watched all the symptoms, I put them together, I notice a pattern. And then I dig a little deeper. You guys take all the symptoms, notice the pattern, and then that's it. You don't try to understand reasons. You don't try to understand causes. You just say, oh, this guy was filled with hate. Was he? How do you know? Did you talk to him? Interview him? You reason with him? Try to discover and understand why he did what he did? Oh, I read his manifesto. Did you? Did he write it? Do you know if he wrote it? Can he recite it? Really? Dig deeper. Dig down and try to understand why this shit happens. And now we need to reverse the last 15 years of bullshit. Because this is the end result. People killing people over stupid ass racial policies and sex-based policies. Discrimination and hatred. Isn't it amazing? The people you're trying to target saying they're full of hate, you filled them with hate. Good job. Way to go. I'm proud of you. I can see why all these people are pissed off. You filled them full of hate. What caused that hate? Do you bother to ask that? No, you just say they're filled full of hate. Really? What caused that hate? How many times am I going to ask that fucking question? Who caused the hate? What caused the hate? Can you answer that question? I can. It's not that hard. Anyways, this has been a rant. This has been a ramble. I know people aren't going to dig deep enough to figure out what the fuck just happened. They never do. The news is going to go through its cycle. They're going to take 3 or 4 weeks talking about the tragedies, try to point fingers. That's next. They're all going to point fucking fingers. You already saw Beto O'Rourke do it. Oh, it's Trump's fault. Yeah, sure it is. Your race-based apology and telling people how you're a white person of privilege and that your privilege has gotten you out of a traffic violation because you had a drunken disorderly and a hit and run. Yeah, because you are white, that's how you got away with it, right? Yeah, that's totally true. Not at all true, but let's pretend that it is. Your white privilege caused this, right? Your race-based policies fucking caused it, you stupid son of a bitch. This is why Beto O'Rourke is not going to get any power whatsoever. Race-based policies are the dumbest fucking policies, period. This guy should be voted out of office. I don't care what the fuck anybody says. You're going to vote based on race? Good job. He's a white privileged man, so vote him into office because he has a guilty conscience about his white skin. I'm not the only one saying this. I have more rational people than me. People that don't swear. People that didn't come up with their upbringing. Actually went to college straight out of high school. Probably had 4.0 GPAs. All that kind of fun stuff. You know, the shit that I didn't care about. have distinguished careers in academia that are saying this too. I may have a PhD as well. I mean, mine is in doctorates in management. So take it as a grain of salt that I study people and how they behave and how they kind of get people to do stuff in a positive manner, mind you. I do actually study the darker side of leadership. No one wants to touch it, but it sure as fuck exists. But let's say that all these people have been saying it as well. You need to stop demonizing men. You need to stop demonizing white. This color of the skin, period. Stop it. What does that make you better than everyone else? Go fuck yourself. That's racist. You want to be proud of your skin? What the fuck does your skin do for you? Seriously. You want to be proud and brandish it as if it's special. Do you think that's going to make other people feel special? It's something they can't change. Neither can you. Yet you're treating it with pride. You want to start looking at the root cause of these issues? Start there. Look at yourself. Anyways, I'm done. I've had enough of this fucking shit. I'm not going to let this spoil the rest of my week either. Because unlike some people, I have a birthday to look forward to. It's pretty tragic that some people don't after this weekend. Till next time.
No matter what you might like, nothing's going to change that.